And here we go. Here we go, you guys. We're back. KromeDome Radio, episode 58. Thank you for tuning in. If you're watching the video, don't forget you could listen in your car on Spotify, Stitcher, and Google Play, and all the podcast things. Because this is a podcast, and a lot of people listen to podcasts in their car. And you can listen to podcasts in other places, but podcasts is oftentimes podcasts is in car. Speaking of car, I got an awesome story to tell you guys. I got a really cool story to tell you guys. And, alright, I'll just ruin the ending. I bought back my old high school car. Yeah. So here's the story about how I bought back my old high school car. Remember a couple episodes ago I was making fun of the people who they always talk about their high school car. They're like, man, I wish I still had that car. That was me. I was that guy. That's where I got that idea from. Because I'd always be like, man, I wish I still had that car. And now, guess what, guys? I have that car. So, my old high school car was a 1991 Pontiac Firebird Trans Am with T-tops, gunmetal gray, snowflake rims, V8, and dual exhaust. And I loved that car so very much, but I had to sell it like 10 or 11 years ago, right? So this car meant a lot to me. I worked on it a lot. I went to a lot of car shows with it, and so what happened was I got the other Trans Am in the garage, right? Which is like a second generation. It's a 1981. And I think I might have been saying on the podcast a couple episodes ago, but I was saying how I was getting really close to getting it finished. And so I bolted up the transmission, and I was rolling it around in the driveway, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to be able to drive the Trans Am really soon. I should buy new wheels for it, and new tires and things. So I went onto Facebook Marketplaces, which I really never do. In fact, I didn't even know Facebook Marketplaces existed until like a couple months ago. So I went on Facebook Marketplaces to find special snowflake fancy rims for my second generation Firebird. And I came across a picture of a very familiar looking car. And I was like, that's my car. That's my 1991 Pontiac Firebird Trans Am with T-tops, gunmetal gray, V8 dual exhaust. I recognize that car. That's my car. So I leaned over to my wife and I showed her the picture, and she hadn't seen the car before. But she was like, really? How do you know? And I was like, I can tell. Off of one picture. One picture like that was from an angle, like almost behind the car. But I could tell that it was my car because I put on like these Trans Am emblems that were off of a newer Trans Am, and I put it on my car to be cool, as one does, and it added 10 horsepower. And I was like, I did that. I'm the only one who knows. I'm the only one in the world who did that. I know I'm the only one in the world who did that. So, so I was like, that's my car. So anyway, I tell my brother, and he gets so stoked. He's like, dude, I think that's your car. And I was like, dude, I think that's my car. So I message the guy, and he doesn't respond to me. First of all, I should make it clear, he's not selling the car, he's selling the wheels. Right? So the car's not for sale. Oh, I should also mention, I was thrown for a loop a little bit. He had it listed, so he was listing the wheels as off of a 1992 Trans Am with a 350 motor. But mine, of course, is a 1991 Trans Am with a 305 motor. Both V8s, but different. And I was like, the dude's wrong. That's how sure I was in what I was saying. I was so sure that it was my car that I was like, the dude who currently owns it is wrong. Right? So, I messaged the guy. He doesn't respond to me, but my brother gets so excited. He's like, I'm going to message him too. So he messages him on Facebook, and the guy responds to him, which was strange. But I didn't want to overload the guy and have too many people messaging him at once. Like, hey, you tell me about your car, dude. So I let my brother handle all the communications with this guy. And my brother's like, tell me about the car. And again, he's like, it's a 92, it's a 350. You know, it's this and that and whatever. And then he sent more pictures. And when he sent more pictures, and is really the moment when I became 99% sure that it was my car, because there were little things here and there, like a little bend, like a little dent or a tear in the leather of the seat, or this or that, where I was like, I did that. I did that. Right? So so I'm like, dude, I'm so I'm positive. I'm like, that is my car that he thinks is something different, but I know that's my car. So I got a person. I got a guy. Hey, I got a guy who has the ability to run VIN numbers. And I said, hey, guy, I'm going to give you a VIN number. And you can secretly tell me if the name matches the person that we're talking to. And sure did. He's like, yeah, dude, that's the VIN. That's your car. Let me tell you something, man. I couldn't sleep for like 2 days after we 100% confirmed that it was my car. I was so excited. Like, I haven't been that excited about really anything like that in a long time. Because it's not like the type of excited where you're like, oh, we're going to go on vacation. Like, I feel like I was getting some of my, like, childhood back, even though I was an adult when I had it. But, like, it felt like a piece of me was returning. And I was like, I'm going to get it. So, over the course of the next week or so, my brother kept, going back and forth with the guy. And he didn't want to sell. He was like, at first he sounded like he was going to sell. And then he didn't want to sell it. So I was like, yo, let's just come clean. And so what we were doing, the strategy was, don't tell him that I think it's my old car. Don't tell him, because then he's going to, bump the price up. So we didn't. But then when he said he's not selling, that he wants to keep the car, I was like, yo, let's just come clean. Let's just tell him that that's my car. All right, I think that's my car. And we did that, and the guy seemed kind of excited by it, because that's like a classic story when somebody could find like their old car. Even though only like 10 years went by, but still, 10 years is a long time. A lot can happen to a car in 10 years. So he says, give me the VIN number. I'll go see if it matches. And he goes outside and he comes back and he goes, yep, it's your car, dude. So we arrange a meeting, and I go out to see it, and I make an offer, and I get my car back, man. I got my car back, man. Old Samantha. That's what I call her. And I'm like, so now it's so funny because I'm right, because I already have the one Trans. Hey, what's better than one Trans Am? 2 Trans Ams. So now I got 2 Trans Ams in the garage. And, to commemorate the occasion, I've been drinking boatloads of Mountain Dew. Because that's what you do when you have a Trans Am. You drink Mountain Dew. So when you have 2 Trans Ams, you drink too many Mountain Dews. Well, not Mountain... Okay, you guys know how I roll. You guys know how I do the Zevia. I got Mountain Zevia. Hey, Zevia. Sponsor? Huh? I mean, I'm constantly drinking this stuff on this podcast. I'm pretty sure, actually, you guys should try this. I think if you type Zevia into YouTube, my video pops up first. I think so. It's got a few thousand hits. Man, I got like the hiccups. Not the hiccup. Why did I say the hiccups? The sniffles. So I'm trying to not do that into the microphone. That's why I keep turning my head. And then I go. And then you don't hear it. Sort of. So, you know what? Do you remember that commercial? Do you remember the Mountain Dew Trans Am commercial? Oh, okay. Yo, you have to remember. If you're my age, you remember this. It was like the early 2000s. There was a Pontiac Trans Am. I keep saying Trans Am commercial. It was actually a Mountain Dew commercial, but the highlight of the whole commercial was the Trans Am. It was one of those like Smokey and the Bandit T-top black and gold Trans Ams, and the dude who was driving it forgot his Mountain Dew back at the gas station. Whoops! He left it on another car. Oops! Because that's what I do with my Mountain Dew when I leave a gas station. I put it on another car. So he has to go get it. And what he does is he goes back really fast in his super cool Trans Am, and then he flips it. And in midair, he grabs the Mountain Dew, and then he chugs it while upside down. Not even chugs it. He somehow defies the laws of gravity and pours it into his mouth while he's upside down, which would mean he's literally like this way and pouring it, which doesn't make any sense. And then he safely lands, very well, and there's no damage to the car. And then it's Channing Tatum. Huh? Yeah, and then it's Channing Tatum. Oh, you didn't remember that, did you? Ha! It's Channing Tatum. That commercial. Watch this. I'm going to just play the commercial. This is Channing Tatum.
What's up? Forgot my due.
He forgot his due.
Oh, man.
Mountain Dew just sitting on the back of the car. He just left it there. Oh, it's gonna play one of those 2000s alt rock songs. I'm gonna have to mute it so I don't get dinged. Here it is though. He grabs the Mountain Dew and he chugs it upside down, and then he lands, and then it's Channing Tatum. The laugh at the end. What was it, that laugh at the end, though?
You get stuff on purpose.
Do the do. Yo, at the beginning, though, when he's like, I forgot my do.
What's up? Forgot my due.
Oh, forgot my do. Dude, that's why he was so fucking hot. Because he forgot his due. Dude. And then the girls slip all over the floor. He's like, I forgot my due. And then the girls slip on the floor. I forgot my due. Whoop! Forgot my due. Dude, so anyway. I don't drink Mountain Dew like I used to. I used to drink a lot of Mountain Dew when I was a young lad driving Firebirds. And now I'm an old lad driving Firebirds. I'm not old, dude. I'm young as hell, though. I'm so young. But my taste has definitely matured. And now I drink Mountain Zevia because it's naturally flavored and there's no sugar, no artificial sweeteners, and it's a non-GMO product non-GMO project certified. Zevia sponsor. I wouldn't take a sponsorship from anybody, but I'd take it from Zevia because I actually like their shit. Because it's good for me. Oh, man. So, now I have 2 cars in the garage. 2 Firebirds in the garage. / the bird cage. That's what I'm going to call my garage. The bird cage. Dude, I don't know if I ever explained why I like Firebirds so much. When I was a kid. Well, okay. There's 3 reasons. One big one. So, when I was a kid, the coolest television program was Knight Rider. Yeah? So, there's that. And then, I was also a big fan of Smokey and the Bandit. And then, of course, probably the biggest reason is my dad had a Firebird. And he had it sitting in my grandmother's garage for years. And whenever we went over there, I'd be like, Daddy, can I see the car now? Can I go see the car? And he'd be like, sure, son. We can go see the car. And I'd be like, yay! So we'd go down to the garage. And he had it covered in a blanket. And he'd open the garage up. And he'd pull the blanket off the nose of the car. And I'd be like, wow! Is it fast? And he'd say, it's the fastest car in the world. And I'd be like, I want a Firebird. I want the Firebird. So, and then, yeah, actually, I really liked, so my first car was a Camaro, but I really wanted the Firebird, even when I had the Camaro. And the way I found the Firebird the first time was on eBay, of all things. It was like senior year of high school, and I was cruising the eBay, as one does, and I found it, and it was in New Jersey, and it was owned by like a cop or something, and before I bid on it, I wanted to go see it, so I drove all the way out to New Jersey, and I looked at the car, and it was in the garage, and it was so clean and so beautiful. And then I won the bid on eBay, and the rest is history. We should watch. Let's watch what's one of the 80s, 1980s Firebird commercial. Oh, this looks crisp. Let's watch this.
Create a car to conquer the wind. A car that lets you slip off the commonplace and experience driving excitement as never before. The Pontiac Firebird Trans Am. Sit here and learn firsthand how Firebird conquers the wind and the world. Pontiac.
Oh my god, dude, that commercial freaking shreds! What? That was the best car commercial ever made. That was the best car commercial ever made. Look at that. Dude, this is not only the best car commercial ever made, this is the most 80s commercial made at all.
The car to conquer the wind.
Look at the diagram.
A car that lets you slip off the commonplace and experience.
Look at that.
Excitement as never before.
Oh, the flip-up headlights? Oh, you know what, though? Hang on. Were those the Knight Rider? They're trying to make this look like Knight Rider. That's what it is. You know what it is? Knight Rider was probably already out. Yeah, 1982. You could take Knight Rider for this commercial.
The Pontiac Firebird Trans Am. Sit here and learn firsthand how Firebird conquers the wind and the world.
Dude, look at how 80s that is, though. Like the Tron glowy lights. God, dude, how does everything from the 80s just shred? The music, even the commercials just shred. Because you know why, man? They just knew how to do it. They just knew how to do the things. They knew how to do all the things. Dude, this is probably a really good 90s Firebird commercial. I'm just going to type Firebird commercial and see what comes up. Let's see if they remain consistent. So that was the most 80s thing I've ever seen. And of course, it doesn't let me pause it. Let's see if this is the most 90s thing. Huh. Oh, yeah.
Sometimes,
Oh, the voice?
after a hard day's work, you've just got to find a place to unwind. And for that job, there's no better car than the new Trans Am.
No better job than the new
It
Trans
learned its
Am.
moves from one of the best, and while its family bloodlines are strong, its technology is thoroughly modern. For proof, look how it delivers the ultimate power trip. It's with the all-new LS1 V8. This all-aluminum engine puts out 305 horsepower in standard
Oh, this is
trim.
more like an
320
infomercial.
with the available free-breathing WS6 Ram Air package. You won't find...
Okay. That'll be enough of that now, sir. That was a pretty hot-looking ride. Dude, you know what? It's muscle cars, man. Dudes just love muscle cars. Boys will be boys. Boys will be boys. My dog will bark. Is it annoying? Sure. But we're gonna get through this. We're gonna get through the dog barking together. Because we're dudes. I'm a dude. He's a dude. She's a dude. We're all dudes. Speaking of dudes, this has nothing to do with cars. Did you hear about the girl somewhere? Because I don't remember where, because I probably should have read the story before I even brought it up. But I'm not going to look it up, because here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to say what I think happened, because I think what I'm going to say is true. I'm going to say what I think happened, because I think what I'm going to say is true. Huh? Okay, so this I think it was a student in college somewhere. She designed a chair that will prevent manspreading. You know when dudes sit with their legs apart? That's known as manspreading. So she designed a chair to prevent that from happening. And it doesn't look comfortable. And when you sit in it, you look bitch. When you sit in it, your voice goes up an octave. Because your nuts are crunched. Your nuts are crunched. It's a nut cruncher chair. And not only does it put you in an awkward seated position, but it's a bad design. If you notice if you look it up, the back of the chair is too short. There's no place to lean back on it. It's more like a stool. You know what it is? It's a stool more than it's a chair. And it makes your voice go like this. And then, you just live your life like this. Because your nuts are crunched. Dude. See, that's just a silly thing happening right now, man. That's a silly thing. That you designed the chair to prevent manspreading. You know what? No, I take it back. You know what? I'm with you. I'm with you, lady student. Because here's why. Everybody in the world is concerned with things like the earth warming to the point of not being able to sustain human life. Ha! They're worried about CO2 emissions. But you know what? They're worried about the impending financial crisis. Or worried about a mass blackout, a complete failure of the grid. But I'm with you. Because if there's one thing on this planet that we should spend our time fixing, it's the way men sit on chairs. Because I don't like it. And did I spill water on myself? I sure did. I sure did spill water on myself and the table. But I'm going to be able to sleep better tonight knowing that there will be less men manspreading while they sit down. Dude, so much goes through your... Oh. Was that a problem that we had to fix? Is there a problem with that? Dude, how fucking nitpicky do you have to be? To worry about how somebody sits? Right, though? How they sit on a chair. Dude, if they're worried about that, could you imagine all the other crap they're probably worried about? Oh, that's so stupid that I bet there's even feminists out there that are just like, pfft. I bet there's feminists out there right now who heard about this and they even went, pfft. There's degrees of feminism, right? Like, that's the elitist feminism. Because there's the feminism that everybody agrees with. Everybody believes in equality, right? Right? But then there's the feminism that wants to tell you how to sit on your chair. By the way, if you look at the design too, if you look at the chair, I mean, I'm one of those cool dudes, man. I'll sit on a chair backwards and then look at the position you'll be in. It's like a V shape. It's actually the perfect chair to sit on backwards. It'll help you sit backwards. And then you're in a manspreading position. What the hell is that? What is manspreading? I didn't even know. Oh, speaking about not knowing things, this is related back to the Firebird. I was telling my coworkers that I got the old Firebird back. And one of my coworkers was telling me that he once thought he saw his old high school car in a music video. And I said, oh yeah, what music video is that? And he said, Despacito. And I said, is that an artist or is that a song? And he looked at me like I had 3 heads. Like this. Like he looked at me like this. He went, like it was painful to look at me. You know how like when you say something really dumb and then the person very, very clearly lets you know because they look at you like this, they go, like it hurt them, like it. So I said, is that an artist or is that a song? And he went, so that didn't answer my question though. So he said, are you serious? That's when it gets worse. Then it's worse because first he made, and then he goes, are you serious? And then what do you say? What do you say? I said it. It came out of my mouth. I expected you to answer, to respond, but your response was then yet another question. So then, what do I say? I say what everybody else says. As a heart attack. Are you serious? As a heart attack. So, somebody overhears this conversation and they go, whoa, dude, you never heard of Despacito? And I was like, no. And I still don't know if it's a song or an artiste. Well, it's a song. It's a song. Okay, so they proceed to tell me that I'm a fool and it was one of the biggest, most popular songs of 2018. Little do they know, the more they say, the prouder I'm getting of myself. Because I legitimately don't know what they're talking about. I've never heard it before. And then I say, you know what, maybe it's going to sound familiar because I hear things. I know pop music, some. Pop music just happens. Dude, everybody hears pop music. Because pop music just happens. It's like cicadas at night. Or it's like the crickets at night. You hear it. Because it's just there. Like frogs. You hear frogs. And you hear birds chirping. And you hear pop music. So I know pop music. So they play the song. And of all the bells that I have, because I have a whole collection of bells, it rang none of them. It didn't ring a single one of my bells. So I said, sorry guys, not ringing a bell. And they made fun of me. And they bullied me. So I took a survey, because that's what you do when you don't know how to defend yourself. You seek out other people to justify you, to help, right? So I went, hey, other coworker, have you ever heard of Despacito? And what does he say? Huh? He gave me the same look that my other coworker gave me when I didn't know it. So now I've got the look twice. You ever heard of Despacito? Like I hurt him asking him the question of Despacito. Am I saying it right? Despacito? Whatever, dude. I don't care. And no, he never heard of it. In fact, of the people that I surveyed, half. It was a small sample. It was 4. 2 of them had heard of it. 2 of them had not. First of all, it's not even in English. All right? It is kind of amazing. Did I burp into the microphone? Yeah. Because I'm showing you guys enough respect to say this is me. This is the real me. And sometimes the real me burps into the microphone. The Despacito, it's not in English. It's in Espanol. So I don't understand how it's so popular. By the way, it has 6 point bad to the bone billion. 6.3 billion views. How many humans are on Earth? That's almost one for each human on Earth. So yeah, it's a popular video. But I don't know how the hell they know it. Oh, that's what they said. They said it won a Grammy. Huh. Hey, look at me. Do I look like I watch the Grammys? I have no idea who wins what Grammy and when. I don't know what's happening with the music industry because I don't care. Okay? I got the music that I like and I listen to that. Okay? I don't know if you guys can hear that, but my dog's throwing a fit. He's chilling. He's wearing a cone right now because he was a bad boy and he chewed his butt. You know how he's funny looking with his cone on because he's a very high energy dog, but his cone makes him sad, so he makes sad puppy dog eyes. Like he wants me to take it off of him all the time. And then I say, no, I can't take it off because you're silly and you bite your butt. I say it like that to him. I'm like, you're silly and you bite your butt. And he bit the hell out of his butt because he had like a hot spot. So now he's wearing a cone. And that's what you get when you bite your butt too much. You wear a cone. Could you imagine if we did that to humans? There was a skit. Oh, what was that from? Oh, no, I can't remember. I think there was a skit on like Mad TV or SNL or something like that where they had a human wearing a cone. So yeah, so he's upstairs barking around now because he probably wants to get my attention so I can go up there and take his cone off. But I'm not going to do it because then he's going to bite his butt. And I don't want to bite his butt because then he has to go to the doctor. Even though he doesn't like the doctor. So this was a fun Firebird-filled episode. Let's see what else is on here. Firebird commercial. Dude, is this show getting freaking better or what? Oh, you guys are sticking around. I mean, if you're... Dude, you know what? Screw it. Right? Because if you're still around, you must be having a good time. So let's hang out. That's what we're going to start doing with the show. We're just hanging out. It's you, it's me, and we're chilling. We're chilling, guys. Drinking a ton of water. And hanging out. You know, one of the ideas I want to get back to, because we were doing it at the beginning, you know, eventually, if we grow, if we get any bigger, I'd like to start going live again and hopefully get a few people in on the chat as I'm recording, because then we could do fun things and we could have like live comments and stuff. I like the idea of that because then everybody's participating. But you know, we're baby sized now, and to be honest with you, it's a kind of a pain in the dick hole to stream live. Not really. It's not terrible, but when you run into issues, it sucks when you're live because then you're like Bill O'Reilly and you're like, fuck it, we'll do it live. Remember when he did that? Remember when Bill O'Reilly was like, fuck it, we'll do it live. Bill O'Reilly, we do it live. And what do you do, YouTube? What do you do, YouTube? You play the video I've already watched. Why did you do that?
And that is it for us today. Yeah, I can't read it. There's no words on it. All right, go.
In 5, 4, 3.
That's tomorrow, and that is it.
Huh, he's getting mad.
That's tomorrow, and that is it for us today. And we will leave you with a... I can't do it.
Yeah, but why can't you do it? You're a professional. I don't know what he's trying to do. But why can't you do it? Because I think all you're trying to say is, that's all for today, we'll see you. No, what does he say? This is a no-spin zone. We'll see you next time.
We'll do it live.
We'll do it live.
We'll do it live. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. Thing sucks.
Because they get so used to using the teleprompter, and then it probably went out. It was probably blinking. Maybe it was just showing the sign of a butt. And he was like, I don't want to see a butt. We'll do it live. We'll do it live. Dude, it's so funny when you find like old footage of a celebrity now. Right? Like somebody who's famous now, and then you go back into the archives and you're like, yo, remember when they did that? Like, remember when Arnold Schwarzenegger was in that documentary Pump, and he was saying how working out was like, it's as satisfying as coming for me. It's as satisfying as coming for me. It's like I'm always coming. Yeah, and then he says something like, when I'm at the store, when I'm on the elevator, I'm always coming. Dude, I swear to God, he's like talking to... when I'm at the movies, he's saying, hang on, let's just watch it. Arnold Schwarzenegger. Yeah, here it is. Dude, he's a... Look at him. Oh my God, he's a massive man. Jesus.
The greatest feeling you can get in a gym, or the most satisfying feeling you can get in a gym, is the pump. Let's say you train your biceps. Blood is rushing into your muscles, and that's what we call the pump.
Fresh off the boat,
your muscles get a really tight feeling, like your skin is going to explode any minute. You know, it's really tight. It's like somebody blowing air into your muscle. It just blows up, and it feels different. It feels fantastic.
The music.
It's as satisfying to me as coming is, you know, as having sex with a woman and coming. So can you believe how much I am in heaven? I'm like getting the feeling of coming in the gym. I'm getting the feeling of coming at home. I'm getting the feeling of coming backstage when I pump up, when I pose out in front of 5,000 people. I get the same feeling. So I'm coming day and night. I mean,
Dude, so not only does he say you're coming day and night, not only does he say it, but then he clarifies. It's like making love with a woman and then coming. It's like coming for me. You know, it's like coming when you make a love with a woman and then it's like coming. Because we didn't know. Thank you for clarifying. Because we didn't know before you clarified exactly what you meant. It's like coming for me. You know, when you make love with a woman and then you come. When I'm at home, when I'm on the elevator, when I'm dressed as Mr. Freeze. When I'm dressed as Mr. Freeze, it's like coming for me. I'm coming day and night. When I'm dressed as Mr. Freeze, it's like coming for me. Cool it. What killed the dinosaurs? The calm age! Oh, man. What does he say after this?
it's terrific, right?
It's terrific.
So, you know, I'm in heaven.
It's as satisfying as coming for me. Yeah, you got it, Arnie. You got. How did we get here? What the what? Dude, we was talking about Kaz, and then we was talking about coming. I think that's it, guys. I think that's where we're gonna call it. Is that annoying? When you hear the, it's like ASMR. You know, that's another thing this show can do. It's like hanging out and ASMR. Because there's nothing kinky about ASMR, right, guys? Right. There's nothing kinky about ASMR. It's not an erotic thing. Right? It's not an erotic thing. It's something that just soothes you. And it calms you down. And that's why you listen to ASMR. It just very coincidentally just happens to be created by ridiculously attractive females. But it's really about the soothing sounds and nothing to do with the fact that it doesn't make sense that they also make YouTube videos starring very attractive, beautiful females. As long as it's about the soft tones. It's not about the eroticism or the kinkiness. Right? It's not a turn on. It's just to soothe you because you suffer from anxiety. And perhaps a little bit of depression. So it soothes you and is in no way erotic for you. Almost choked. Yeah, that's... Oh, God. Yeah. Dude, that's what they need. They need... Oh, my God, I really did just choke on water. Dude, they need, like, redneck ASMR. Where it's like, it's just a trucker, dude. Trucker ASMR. You're just like, hey, y'all. Hey, y'all. Check out this new cool sound I learned to make. This is Trucker ASMR. Thanks for tuning in. Alright. I'm falling apart. It's time to kill. Let's go. Let's get out of here. Yo, yeah. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you next time. Remember, you could follow me on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter, and you know by now. And don't forget, this is a podcast. You can listen in your car because that's what you do with a podcast. You listen, because cars are for you. Listen to podcasts in a car because you could listen to podcasts on your radio in your car. So don't forget, you could do that. Or maybe you didn't even know we had a YouTube channel or an XOTV channel. Yeah, if you are already in your car, then don't forget you could watch the video on YouTube and XOTV. It's the other way around. Alright, guys. And I'll see you next time. Bye.